A look ahead to the cultural highlights forecast for 2025. Fully immersive art experiences, and the Grand Palais has its Beaux-Arts beauty restored. Well, that's all coming up here on Arts 24. First, a new year means new artwork, new music and new movies. Here in Paris, we'll have some landmark exhibitions too, as Pablo Picasso is the next modern artist to get the Atelier des Lumières treatment. The immersive art experience is transposing the Spanish painter's iconic images to its event space. And the king of quirky cinema, Wes Anderson, is being celebrated in an upcoming show at the Cinémathèque Française. Here's more from our reporters.
2025 is promising to be an incredibly rich cultural year, from international concert tours to the latest adventures of our favorite cinema heroes, and major exhibitions like Paul Cézanne in Aix-en-Provence, France. Concert lovers and Billie Eilish fans, get ready. The American singer is coming to Paris, and some are already counting down the days.
Last time I saw her, I waited in line for 16 hours. I hope it'll be less this time, but just as amazing.
The 23-year-old electro-pop superstar will perform 2 dates in Paris on June 10th and 11th. Another highly anticipated star, DJ Snake, one of the most listened to French artists in the world. He returns to Paris for a single show on May 10th at Stade de France. And finally, Indochine will make waves this year with a nearly sold-out tour. For art lovers, there's also a wealth of exhibitions in 2025. Notable highlights include the rediscovery of the French painter Suzanne Valadon at the Pompidou Center before the Paris Museum closes for a big makeover, and the return of 100 paintings by Paul Cézanne to Aix-en-Provence, where he lived and painted for 40 years.
What interests you about the Cézanne exhibition?
The diversity of his work, his style. He was an incredibly talented guy.
This year, cinema also brings major comebacks. The return of Mission Impossible hits theaters on May 21st. It's the 8th film in this cult series.
I need you to trust me. One last time.
And finally, several biopics are on the horizon in 2025. Maria Callas, Robbie Williams, Michael Jackson, and Bob Dylan, played by Timothée Chalamet in A Complete Unknown, out January 29th.
I say no one wants to hear what a kid wrote last month.
Well, I like your songs.
It features a stunning transformation for the young cinema star.
Well, next, many galleries and museums are now embracing new high-tech approaches to viewing art, moving away from a one-dimensional experience and inviting visitors to interact with installations and take an active role in discovering the work on show. These immersive exhibitions are also cheaper to produce. Charlie James has this report.
Dive into the streets of Venice. Wander through a Van Gogh. Embark on a journey to the moon. Or sit at Harry Potter's table. In 2024, these were the blockbusters of the art world, immersive exhibitions lighting up museums and enchanting visitors.
There are things happening on the floor, on the ceiling, all around us.
You feel like you're dancing with them and traveling the world.
At the Atelier des Lumières in Paris, the walls become paintings. 100 projectors bring the French comic Asterix to life. A big budget exhibition costing 10 million euros. It's a hefty sum, but less expensive than more traditional exhibits.
The cost of creating a digital exhibition is lower because we don't need to transport masterpieces, insure them, pay for shipping or provide security. These are very significant expenses nowadays.
1 million visitors come to the Atelier des Lumières every year. Immersive spaces are breaking attendance records, so digital technology is making its way into traditional museums as well. In the northern French city of Lille, Raphael's sketches and paintings are getting a modern twist. Alongside the original works, animations invite visitors to delve into the details. By following the artist's strokes, these displays help draw in a broader audience. And designers are becoming increasingly creative. The exhibitions of the future are being crafted in this Parisian office.
You can modify these textures if you want the terrain to look dirtier or cleaner.
These graphic artists have created a journey through the Impressionist era and the collection of the Musée d'Orsay in Paris. It's a virtual reality experience that will soon be exported worldwide.
There are too many people who want to visit. This is an alternative that allows us to share this culture and heritage with the rest of the world.
This wave of immersive experiences is sweeping the art world and will likely keep gaining momentum. So watch for more exhibitions that go beyond the frame.
Now to an architectural gem and a resplendent feature of the Paris skyline. The Grand Palais was one of the standout sites in last year's Olympic and Paralympic Games, revealing a fresh new look after 3 years of renovations. And the building, which dates back to 1900, will have even more work done to it before it's fully reopened to the public this spring. Aurore Dupuis tells us more.
A vessel of glass, steel and stone, nestled in the heart of the City of Light. The Grand Palais is a landmark that leaves no one indifferent.
Historically, it's a marvel.
The structures, the glass ceilings, that's what makes it so magnificent. It's grand.
The moment I saw the glass roof, I thought, wow, that's the Grand Palais.
The partially renovated monument was revealed during the Olympic and Paralympic Games in Paris last summer, but it's not entirely finished and still holds many secrets. Inside its galleries, an army of artisans and workers are gearing up for its full reopening this spring.
Bonjour.
Daniel Sanchot led the way to open up the nave. Before the renovations, the Grand Palais was divided into many separate areas. Up to 23 institutions had their offices here. The partitions were removed 2 years ago, connecting the nave with surrounding galleries.
Let me take you to a remarkable space under the grand staircase. We tore down the wall. It was such an emotional moment. Seeing this view again from Avenue Franklin Roosevelt to the Petit Palais was incredible. It hasn't been like this since 1937.
Nothing's been left untouched. The grand staircase, painted yellow in the 90s, has been restored to its original bronze finish. Up to 12,000 artisans helped revamp the Grand Palais, 70,000 square meters.
It's always impressive. You realize you're touching history, something made so long ago. It's a lot of hard work, but also a source of immense pride.
Inaugurated during the 1900 World Fair, it took 3 years and 3 architects to build. Hence its unique style. Classical facades, Art Nouveau staircases, and an industrial glass roof. 40 meters above ground, we meet François Chatillon, the architect overseeing the restoration. He tells us the glass and steel roof wasn't just chosen for its beauty, it was a necessity.
Le Grand Palais was built to host huge events like art and sculpture exhibitions. Back then, they needed natural light. Although electricity existed in 1900, it wasn't powerful enough to illuminate large exhibitions. So natural light was essential.
The Grand Palais has hosted everything from epic contests to aviation exhibitions and even household appliance fairs.
Au garde à vous, les aspirateurs de tout grade aspirent à se rendre utiles.
The Grand Palais is now a space for endless possibilities. By day, it hosts exhibitions. By night, it turns into a venue for celebrations. This winter, under the iconic glass roof, you'll find the world's largest indoor ice rink.
And finally, to another Parisian landmark, which is celebrating 150 years as the French capital's most prestigious venue for opera and ballet. The Palais Garnier was inaugurated in January 1875. The iconic building had been commissioned 14 years earlier by Emperor Napoleon III. Designed by the architect Charles Garnier, it became the jewel in the crown of Baron Haussmann's new urban plan, and it's still the beating heart of the city's cultural life today. We'll leave you with a look inside its sumptuous interiors. Otherwise, you can get more arts and culture on our website. We're on social media too. There's more news coming up just after this.